Hello and welcome to the 6-ounce Mini, the new version. This is what you should have received, some sort of envelope holder, and when you open it, inside is your 6-ounce Mini and a piece of Tyvek. This piece of Tyvek is very important. You're going to need this, so don't lose this. Your envelope would be some variation of this envelope that can hold your prediction. And your 6-ounce Mini. This is made on Tyvek, and what that means is this is tear-proof, waterproof, it's really durable, and it comes blank, just like you can see. And if you don't know how this works yet, let me show you what you're receiving. You're receiving basically like a Rolodex of potential answers, and it's all folded in a way that no matter what out you need to acquire, it opens the exact same every single time. And why that is because you can just flip your thumb to the correct answer you need and then immediately open up your prediction. So in a moment, I'll go into the details for the handling, how I like to open it, and again, that's what it looks like. It looks just like that no matter which answer they give you. But first, the most important thing with this gimmick, this utility device, is filling it in correctly. You want to make sure that your marker or pen or pencil you're using won't bleed through to the other side, and you want to make sure that you're sure about the routine that you want to do before you fill this in. So what we're going to do is grab your little piece of sample Tyvek and grab a few pens that you might want to try to use, and I'm going to show you how to fill this in first. So let's do that now. Okay, so first one I'm going to try and show you is just a pen. Normal pen, so you want to make sure that the ink is rolling on that, and we'll do a black Bic pen. So black, okay, black. Now you can see already with me that sometimes the ink comes out on the Tyvek and sometimes it does not. So black pen, so you can see what happens. Sometimes ink comes out. You might need a piece of paper standing by to help you make the ink come out, and you might just want to keep twisting your pen, but I would not recommend this as much as other options. I just wanted to show you the potential results to save you some time with your piece of Tyvek yourself. So as you can see, it kind of shows up a little bit. Occasionally it's unpredictable, but what's nice about a pen is it does not bleed through. The only bleed through you get is if you hold it up to a light. You'll see that. So whenever it does show up there, it does show up well. It's just a little unpredictable and a little small. If you're wanting to write a lot of information on your reveal page, it is a rather large page. So if you're wanting to write a lot of info on it, you might want to go with the pen, but I don't recommend that. Another thing would be like a washable marker. This looks pretty good. Marker, it looks good at first glance, but then you will realize that it does not hold the ink. So let that dry for a minute. Because it's a washable marker, whenever you fold and crease and continually open it, it will not stick forever. So it looks good at first, but make sure to let whatever marker you're trying dry, because the ink pen does dry nice, which is good, and it will last a long time. It just is difficult to get it to stick. What I would end up going with if I were you is a Sharpie marker. So there's plenty of sizes of Sharpie marker to choose from. You've got your fine point, king size. You also have a Magnum Sharpie. There's just one thing to keep in mind, is you don't want to ever overlap your writing with a Sharpie, because then it will bleed through. So this is something to practice and test. King size is my favorite, but what I mean by an overlap is this will look good, and this would look good, but the area where you overlapped your pen might bleed through. So this is actually a good pen, and this is also not a brand new pen. That's another thing to keep in mind. Brand new Sharpies are filled with so much ink that they might bleed through. You might want to use an aged Sharpie, just so that the ink doesn't go on as thick. And how you can do that is find an old Sharpie or buy a new one and just color a full sheet of paper with it, which will really dry out the ink. So as you can see with this marker, I'll just do 3 lines there. This is really good. You can see you can't see through. Those little shaded areas are okay. You just don't want a full bleed through. Let me do a couple of laps. This is all overlap, which you would not want to do with this marker, but that is a bleed through. That you would see whenever you open up the page to another one. You know, this is, the Magnum is a little bit thicker of a stroke. This is an aged one, so it's pretty good. When you get those streaks on a pen, that means it's an older pen or starting to dry out, and that's the perfect pen you would want age-wise. So you can see the difference in these strokes where you can't see through very good, and the true test is overlapped, because your gimmick is actually overlapped paper, so you can't see these 3 lines whenever you fold it over. But this heavy one, if I fold this over and you look, you can see that, and that's not what you want. So try a bunch of pens, try a bunch of pens, try a bunch of markers until you find one that you like. And then here, we'll test the marker now. You can see it's already starting to rub off and fade and come onto my finger, and that's a Crayola washable marker. So I would recommend using a king size Sharpie. That's what I'm gonna be using. But try a bunch of different things, but keep in mind the dry time. Make sure it's totally dry. Make sure if you fold this sample piece of Tyvek and rub it on itself, that the ink does not come off. And like I said, with my experience, the best thing for that is a Sharpie. King size is my favorite for what you're writing. So grab your unit when you know what you want to write, and if you want to make the reveal that I did on the trailer, then you can just make it right along with me. So whenever you want to write your outs, you're going to want to kind of understand how to open it, but basically just open your unit with me. So we'll open it like this, and we'll open it from right to left. So we're looking at it like a book. So we're looking at it like a book that turns the pages. So just one more time, with it all closed up, put the black arrow line in the bottom right hand corner, okay? And then what we're going to want to do is, let me just make sure I'm doing this correctly. So this is how we want to hold it. So what we're going to do is put the black line on the right and black line on the bottom, and then we're going to open it like this, okay? And then we're going to open it like this. So this is our first page. When you write like this, this is our second page, third page, fourth page, fifth page, sixth page. So keep that orientation in mind, and you will have the correct orientation whenever we go to open it later. So one more time, let me show you. Keep your unit closed, black on the right, black on the bottom. Open the back away from you, like so, and then open it from right to left, like so. This is our first page. So whatever you write in this orientation will show up that way for the spectator. So I'm going to write the first reveal, which would be ABC. So that's going to, so if you're wanting to reveal the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is where you would write 1. For your first reveal for the routine that I showed you before, we want that to be the key on head, hand has phone, and wallet in pocket. So you can kind of write it lightly in pencil if you would like. Again, pencil doesn't erase very well, but it kind of helps you space out your lettering if you write it light enough. So I'm just going to, what I like to do is air write it. And what that means is you get your pen ready, and you're just going to write it a few times in the air to make sure that it will land where you want it to. And again, you want to try to avoid overlapping the pen when you write. So the first thing I'm going to write is key on head. So key on, and you want to also keep in mind your crease lines. So this comes assembled and creased already. So what you want to do is try to avoid important information on the crease, because then it will look bumpy when you write it. So key on head. So I'm going to space the O between that line. So I'm going to write it one more time. Key on head. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and write that now. Key on head. Key on head, just like that. Then we're gonna do hand has phone. So hand has phone. Okay, that'll fit. Hand has phone. Looking good so far. Hand has phone. And then finally, wallet in pocket. So let's try that out. Wallet in pocket. So we're gonna just space it there again. So here we go. Wallet in pocket. Now, if you really want to test the spacing out, you can take another piece of paper the same size and write it a few times just to make sure. But this is looking good. Again, you can't see the ink bleeding through. The only way you could see it is if you held it up to the light, a very bright light, but you would never be in that situation the way that the handling works. So that's the first one. The second one, you'll just turn the page from right to left, and we'll go ahead and write the second one right here. So the second one for the routine is, instead of ABC, it will be ACB. So we need to do the first one the same. So key on head. So let's write that. Key on head. Just like that. The next one is C. So hand has wallet. Has wallet. So hand has wallet. Just like that. Hand has wallet. And finally, phone in pocket. Phone in pocket. Okay, just like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep going on so that you can see how to make, if you want to make this one with me. So this is your second out, your third out. So it goes ABC, ACB, then BAC. So this is our BAC reveal. So it would be phone on head. Phone on head. Okay. Phone on head. BAC. Hand has key. Hand has key. Hand has key. So it's BACC. So wallet in pocket. Wallet in pocket. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. So that's the third out. Phone on head, hand has key, wallet in pocket. So that is BAC. So now we need to do BCA. So we'll turn from right to left. BCA. So B, phone on head. Phone on head. BCA. Hand has wallet. and has wallet. And then finally, so B, C, A, so finally key in pocket. Key in pocket. Just like that. So that is again B, C, A. So now we're going to go to the fifth one, which is C, A, B. So C, A, B would be wallet on head. Wallet on head. Okay. And CAB. So we'll do CA next. So hand has key. Hand has key. And then finally, wallet key. So it's CAB, phone. So phone in pocket. Phone in pocket. Looking good. Phone in pocket. So finally, we need to do CBA. So wallet on head. Wallet on head. Good. Next is CBA. So B, phone. The hand has phone. Hand has phone. And then finally, key. So that's CBA, A key, key in pocket. Key in pocket. Boom. So this is a completed 6-ounce mini gimmick that is ready to go to perform the routine that I described earlier. So as you can see, depending on which one you turn it to, it will reveal different pieces of information. And now what I'm going to do is teach you the way that you should hold and the way that you should open this gimmick so that it reveals the information that you would like. So grab your gimmick once you've written everything on there, and what you're going to want to do is hold it so that you've got a black triangle pointed to the bottom right. So that's what should be in your right hand. So no matter if you're right or left-handed, it should be the same handling. Now the other option is you come up with your own handling, but be aware of that handling before you write your information, because that will determine which orientation the paper is when you reveal it. So for this one, basically the reason why I have it this way is from behind you can hold it like this, and then you can click to any option you want. So it's very easy to feel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I wanted to go to the first out, this is the view you have, the performer, but then what the spectator will see is this. They'll see this information. So let me show you that again. Just click once, and then when I open it quickly, it just looks like that. So from the front, it would look different. Let me show you one more time. So you click here, you're going to slide your thumb down. You're going to open the gimmick towards yourself, open it from right to left, which will show you the out upside down, and then you'll turn it over end for end to show the audience member. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit and show you what that would look like from the front. Okay, so here we are from the front. What that looks like when I open the first out is that. It looks very fair, it looks very natural, and here's what it looks like if I go to the second one. Just like that, boom, boom, boom. Here's what it looks like to go to the third one. Looks the same no matter what. So let me show you that again. Basically, you are holding, excuse me, sliding my chair. You are holding it, so this is an over-the-shoulder view. You're holding it so that the black line is on the right and the black line is on the bottom. and your forefingers and your thumb will hold the gimmick like this. So from the front, it'll look like that. From your point of view, it will look like this. Then your left hand holds right up here, which should just allow you to flip with your thumb through the different outs. So if you click once, that'll be out number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the other thing you can do, which might help some of you, is you can write the out very small right here on the inside of the gimmick, so that when you click, you're looking at maybe pencil or pen or a fine point Sharpie, you're looking at a little note to yourself as to what that out is. So let me show you again. There's one click, so I'll do it in slow motion what it looks like. I'm going to open it towards myself from right to left. I see it upside down, and then I'm going to turn it over just like this. Now this grip is important because you want your hands on the sides to cover any thickness that there might be. The other thing you want to keep in mind though is not to cover the reveal. A lot of people I see hold it like this, and then you can't read what you wrote. The only other option is you leave a bunch of space on each side. So if you were wanting to reveal the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you just write the number in the middle so that whenever you open it, you can hold a death grip on the sides. And you can see your angles are really good that way because your hands are holding it like this. Now the other reason why your angles are so good is because we drew a black line around your gimmick. So that black kind of prevents you from being able to see that there's more than one layer, which is nice. So fold this up. Let me show you the second out. So we're just going to go 1, 2 clicks, open down towards ourselves and open from right to left. We see it upside down, and then we just turn it over top to bottom to show the reveal. Now, there's a big reason why I open it this way. That's because you can see first what the out will say. And the reason why that's a huge advantage is if you happen to have spaced it and clicked to the wrong one, let me show you what it looks like if you said the first out and I accidentally went to the second one. There you go. So that's because you get one last check to make sure you got it right. Whether you use it or not, you don't have to look at what you wrote. You can just go straight to the reveal. But if it's big pressure and it's newer for you, I recommend maybe peeking. So now I'm looking at the out, but I'm looking at it upside down just to make sure I got it right, and then I can turn it over. If you'd like, you could orientate your handling so that you are looking at the reveal correctly and then turning it over right to left. It's up to you. I just find that this is the easiest. And what's nice is, let's say, I'm presenting this to you and I say, okay, what, are you sure there's no way I got this right? Well, let me show you. No, maybe I won't show you. You want to see? Are you sure you want to see? Okay, I'll show you. So I just changed it. You can cover up your presentation however you want, but that's what I would recommend doing. So a couple other things with the opening just to keep in mind are if they ever say 1 or 6, so this is the first out, I can let go of this side, which is really nice. There's just a single side. So I can hold on one side and it looks really good from all angles, and it really looks like one piece of paper because it is. And if I click to number 6, same thing, I just let go of the other side. So now it looks really fair, flimsy, little piece of paper, and that's because I'm holding all of the other outs on this side. So 2 out of the 6, so there's a 1/3 chance of you getting to really mess with them by showing how thin this thing is. So that's really important. So keep all those things in mind when you're opening your unit, and I would recommend no matter which handling you go with, quiz yourself. Practice all the outs multiple times so it becomes second nature, so that whenever you're opening this thing, you don't have to think about it, because that's the worst thing to have happen is you have to think about it, because you should just be opening up a piece of paper. The other thing to keep in mind is you can click through them one-handed if you'd like. I'm clicking through them right now so that, let me show you that over the shoulder. That just looks like this. It's a little more tricky, a little more practice involved, but if I wanted the second out, 1, 2 clicks, then by the time my left hand comes over, it's really smooth and seamless. The other option is to click through your outs while it's still in your envelope. Whether your envelope is a side load or a top load, here's this envelope. As I'm pulling this out, I can go 1, 2, 3. So I'm already on the third out when I throw the envelope or have them examine the envelope. And it just cuts one step out of the process, which is really nice. Finally, I always fold this back up. I always just fold this up and put it away, throw it. It's Tyvek, so it's really durable. If it gets a little dirt on it, you can just take a wet paper towel and clean the dirt off because this thing is so durable. But I think it's really important to fold it up. You don't want to lay it on the table with it still open because it might do that, which you want to avoid. You can't have it examined. You can have the envelope examined. That's really important. Whatever you have your gimmick held in at the beginning, you want to make sure that also gives you an excuse to be flipping through it. So if I go like this, I take out my prediction and I say make sure, look inside the envelope, make sure there's no other pieces of paper, and I just did the clicking. So that way they're looking at something, so by the time you open this up, there's nothing, it's just a piece of paper. And then what I like to do is fold this up immediately, ask for the envelope, and put this away. You put this away and put it back in your pocket or in your wallet or your envelope. So that's how you handle it. Now I'm going to go over some routine ideas. As you saw in the trailer, I do the head, hand, pocket. Now how I do that is a mnemonic system in my head to remember the 6 different outs. Basically, with 3 different pieces of information, let's call it ABC. Here are the 6 outs: ABC, ACB, BAC, BCA, CAB, CBA. Those are the 6 different ways you can write the letters ABC. So now what I did was I came up with 3 locations that will be automatic in my brain, and that's head, hand, pocket. And the reason why I named those is because visually they go in order. So if I was your target, it goes head, hand, pocket. So this is 1, 2, 3. So I just look at the 3 objects. As I'm looking at the person, I start at the top and then I just look down. So that's how I remember that. And then my 3 objects are just objects that I find are organically available when you're performing, and that's some keys, a phone, and a wallet. Now what's nice about those objects are I always carry those objects on me, but so do most people. So what's nice about that is you could perform with their objects. You could ask them, what do you have on you? And if they pull out a phone, keys, and wallet, be like, okay, great. What I want you to do is take your phone, your keys, and your wallet, and I want you to place 1 on your head, put 1 in your pocket, and hold 1 out in your hand. If they don't have one of those 3 things, you can replace it with your object, or you can give them your 3 objects that you always carry, which is nice. And those 3 locations are available on most people. If you're performing for someone who doesn't have pockets, you could also use the table. If you don't have a table, you could use their hands. So you say balance 1 thing on your head, put 1 thing in each hand. Now the only problem with that is balancing something on your head is very difficult, so that's why I'm using a hand, head, and pocket. That leaves them the ability to take one of the objects and hold it on their head. Or the floor. So head, hand, floor. Those could be your 3 locations, and it's very easy to see those 3 locations. So then it comes down to coding your 3 objects. Again, this is very complicated, so if you want a simpler routine, 1 through 6 is the way to go, or colors, or cards, 6 cards, anything like that. What I like to do is key is my letter A. So the way I remember that is key starts with a K, and when you say K, you're also saying A. K letter. So the first letter in the word key is K, K. KBC, key. Key is number 1. Key is the first letter, A. Then my second object is my phone. Okay, phone starts with a P. P sounds like B. That's the way I remembered it. I'm weird. Phone starts with a P. P sounds like B. Last object is wallet. Wallet is the last, starts with a W. W is last. W sideways is 3, which is the third object, and 3 sounds like C. I don't know. W is last. The other way you can remember it is K, P, W. Those are actually in alphabetical order as well. K, P, W. So the first out is A, B, C. So that would mean that the key would be on the head. B. B is phone. Phone would be in the hand. And W, wallet, would be in the pocket. So A, B, C, here it is. I just know it's the first out. It's a lot of math to do in your head, but key on head, hand has phone, wallet in pocket. That's it. It's really the way I remembered it. It's easy for me. I would recommend coming up with either learn that the way I did or come up with your own that becomes second nature, because you need it to be automatic. You don't want them to be standing there and you be going, because it just takes away from the reveal. You could, as long as you're not holding the gimmick. They could be holding the envelope, and you could be sitting there trying to calculate it as long as you're doing patter or asking them if they want to change their mind. The only problem is if they do change their mind, you have to do a whole new equation. So let's say the wallet is on their head. Here, I'll do it for you. So let's say that the wallet is on their head, the key is in their hand, and phone is in their pocket. So wallet, key, phone. So C, B, wallet, key. So C, A, B. So C, A, B is the fifth out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that should be wallet, key, phone. Wallet on head, hand has key, phone in pocket. This is, again, just because I've done this thing 1,000 times. And I think this is actually the best use for this gimmick. I've had this gimmick now for a few years, and I think that the reason why this is the most fooling is that you don't think there's only 6 possibilities. You think that there's 9, or, let's see, 3 times 3 times 3 would be 27. You could easily convince your audience member that there's more than 6 outs. Also, mathematically speaking and statistically, the odds are even crazier if you do offer them the chance to change their mind. Technically speaking, there's still only 6 possibilities, but statistically speaking, the odds increase dramatically. So you wouldn't be lying to your spectator by saying, it's a lot of different possibilities. So I want you to place one of these objects on your head, hold one of them in your hand, and place one of them in your pocket. You can change your mind. You can change your mind again. You can change your mind as many times as you want. Whenever you're done, I want you to stand there and let me know that you're finished. Is that it? Final answer? Because I wrote something down before you even made that decision, and I thought you would put the phone on your head, your hand would have the key, and the wallet would be in your pocket. Boom. What? There you go. Even though you tried to beat it, I got your answer. Now, a couple of things about the 6 outs gimmick. I would not use it more than once. I would not say try again, unless you can say that was one prediction. Let me put that away. Who else wants to try? I got another prediction in my other pocket, and then you pull out the same gimmick. You could do that. I think just repeating this type of effect runs the risk of them wanting to examine it or start to realize there's not as many options as they think. Just keep that in mind. I like to perform with this gimmick close-up, parlor, and stage. That's why we call this the 6 outs mini. The 6 outs gimmick is bigger. It's actually twice this size. So just so you know, in case you're wanting to consider getting a bigger size, here's 2 6 outs units. 6 outs mini. So this is how big the 6 outs normal one is. So it's this big. It's about A4 size, 8.5 by 11. and that's really just great for stage. You could also use that size for close-up. This is just a great size because this is my wallet, and I think it's great because this fits in my wallet. It's the same size. It fits comfortably in a pocket if you want to store it in an envelope. That way you can have it on you at all times. And also it plays on stage because if you were to open it, this is a large enough area, you know, if it's a number or a simple piece of information, it can play for a very large room. Or if you're performing onto a video camera onto a screen, then this could be any size and it plays well. The other thing to keep in mind is that you don't have to open it in this orientation. You could open it like this. You know, you could open it like this so that whenever you show your out to the audience, this is your reveal. No matter how you reveal it, I just recommend keeping your hands on the sides because if you get a little careless with this, you run the risk of opening up the different outs. I like to hold it on the very tips, the edges, and just keep it held together. Again, I show the information, I read it to them, and then I just close it up and I throw it or put it in my pocket. That's the way I find is the least suspicious. Just to cover all bases, what do you do if someone asks to see it? Totally up to you. You know, if you want to have this examined, all you need to do is have 6 pieces of paper cut to the same size with the same pieces of information, and you have to have the ability to switch your gimmick for the piece of paper. So I'm just spitballing here, but one way to do that is, let's say you put a couple of real outs in one pocket, a couple in another, a couple in your back pockets, different locations. So here's your gimmick. Do anything you want. Here it is. Boom, I got it. Key, hand, phone, pocket, wallet. Nailed it. All of the information. Nailed it. Now, I know in my head, through my mnemonics, that the out for this, the regular one, is in my right pocket. Let's say a spectator says, can I see that thing? You say, no, you cannot. And then I'm just kidding. Of course you can see it. It's just a piece of paper. And as you go to hand it to them, they will immediately realize that it's not a gimmick. Usually what I just say, to be honest, is no. This is a really funny, straightforward answer. And it just doesn't give them the satisfaction of being right or wrong. It opens up the possibility to them that you used a trick thing, but that does not tell them, you know, how the trick works. So, you know, here it is, boom, finished it. Can I examine that thing? You know what? No, you can't. And they say, oh, that's because it's a trick piece of paper. And you say, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but you will never know. And even if it was a trick piece of paper, how does that tell you how I guessed one of 63 different possibilities that you could have just done? And then they'll just blow their mind even more. I think that I just have fun with this. I never get asked to examine the piece of paper because it's such an afterthought the way I perform it. I don't put much heat on it. This is just the vessel for the information I wrote down. Phone, hand, wallet, pocket, nailed it. You thought you had me, but you didn't. You changed your mind, and still I guessed it. You know, I think one thing to also keep in mind is you could use more than one of these. So the minute you buy or have 2 of these gimmicks, now you have the ability to produce 12 different outs. So that is zodiac signs, months in the year, 12, you know, if you're doing a deck of cards, let's take out the aces because everybody guesses those. So think of a value, 2 through king, that's 12. Let's say you just want the court cards, Jack, Queen, King of clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, that's 12 different outs. So with 2 of these, you know, 3 of them, you have 18 outs. So it's really up to you what you use this for. It's a utility gimmick, it's a utility item, so you can come up with tons of different routines. Keep thinking of them. Don't be limited to just the one I showed you. I do, however, really like that one just because of the 3 locations, 3 objects, change your mind. It's organic. It seems really impossible. And again, just maybe one final tip with that one is quiz yourself. Make up 6 different flashcards with the outcomes, or ask a friend, girlfriend or boyfriend or family member to just run it with you a bunch of times, because you want to make sure that you're getting it 100% without thinking about it before you take this out and show it to people. So, you know, again, you want to get it just so that it's second nature. You're not even thinking about it. But if you do get it wrong whenever you're going through it, don't be afraid to close it back up and open it again until you get it right. So that is the 6-ounce mini. I hope you enjoy this. Use it, put it in your pocket, carry it around, and open and close it a bunch. This thing will last you forever. Thank you so much for purchasing it. Have fun with it, and until next time,